Hey up, Internet, and welcome back to Black Sofa, and we are ready to... wait a minute. This isn't a very good British accent. It's still too Australian. Crap. Oh, well, most of the audience is American. They can't tell the difference anyway. So far here, ready to take a jab at the Jehovah Witnesses in all of their crazy glory. Or at least some. I don't have all day, and I'm sure you don't either. So I'm gonna focus a bit on the recent familial murder-suicide that happened here in over there in Australia, and the religious doctrines which helped motivate it. Keeping in mind that this involves a terribly tragic story, I'll try not to let it get too dark. To begin with, the premise. A few months back, there was a familial murder-suicide in Margaret River, Western Australia, which took the lives of 8 people, 4 of which were children. It was the highest single mass shooting for us in a long time, and so it shocked the nation and made international news. What may not have made international news is that the family were Jehovah's Witnesses, and that their innocent, harmless faith held a key to the events that took place, which took the lives of 8 too many. And yes, I said 8, not 7. I will be running through a news article on the matter that was showed here in Australia by our Channel 9 News. I won't lie, I'll not be able to get through this without holding back tears, so you may have to just deal with that.
Good evening. A heartbroken father has opened up on the mass shooting in Margaret River that took the lives of his family and shocked the nation. Aaron Cockman went public to pay tribute to his 4 children found murdered in their beds by their grandfather, and he blamed a family breakdown for the tragedy.
I don't feel angry. I feel tremendous sadness for my kids. But I don't want anyone to feel angry.
It's clear Aaron Cockman is still trying to process his unimaginable loss, but he wants the public to hear what he has to say.
The reason I'm standing up here is so that people don't feel hatred, just...
It's been nearly 3 days since his 4 children were shot dead by their grandfather at their idyllic hobby farm in Osmington, 20 kilometres from Margaret River.
I could talk about my kids all day. I could... Tay's a beautiful girl, like Ari, just amazing kid. Caden was at the age where he still used to come up and give me a hug.
Their mother Katrina and grandmother Cinda also murdered. Peter Miles called 000 before he turned the gun on himself. Just 8 years old and autistic, Caden was found dead next to his mum. He'd been sleeping in her bed when his grandfather walked into the room just before 5 a.m. on Friday.
None of the kids were up out of their beds. They're all just very, very peaceful, calm.
Today, Aaron Cockman finally gave some insight into why Peter Miles did what he did. He believes the 61-year-old had concerns about his family's health issues, and they became too much.
I'm going to be making a point not to interrupt this video before I respond, but I am curious at this point to learn more about the family's health problems, and if the Watchtower doctrines had any influence on their treatments. As we know that one of the boys had pretty significant kidney issues, and that is obviously very related to blood, so I would love to learn more about that, but back to it.
Peter didn't snap. He's thought this through. I think he's been thinking this through for a long time. So, how the hell Peter did that? I still can't figure out.
Mr. Cockman visited the farm for the first time this morning, but couldn't go past the gate. The Margaret River carpenter doubts he ever will. It's where his kids were homeschooled by their mother, Katrina. His relationship with her broke down a year ago. She took their daughter and 3 sons to live with her parents, Cinda and Peter, on the Forever Dreaming farm.
I've had so much anger in the last few years, ever since I was cut off from my kids for 6 months. So much anger in the last, and that was due to Peter and Cinda making sure I was cut off from my kids.
Today, he said that anger is gone. His former friend and father-in-law taking everything he had. He feels numb.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have Katrina. I wouldn't have the kids. So it's not some random guy off the street that's taken them away from me. He gave them to me, now he's taken them away.
My heart breaks for this man. Aaron here shows a civility which I doubt I could in such awful circumstances. I would imagine I might know nothing but hate, anger, rage, just utter despair. He mentioned not knowing how their grandfather could do such a thing. But I know, it was his sacrifice. He didn't see the ending of his children, grandchildren, and wife's life, but their swift departure into the new system, their new, perfect life, free from the pain they suffered in this present system of things. He sacrificed himself, acknowledging his chances are slim to receive the kingdom promise if he murders and then kills himself, but sacrifices his own perfect future for his children's. Of course, back in the real world, it doesn't work like that. Those children are gone, forever. That father must survive the rest of his life without them, without seeing them grow, discovering their future. Why? Because the senile old man saw a better future for them if he quickened their lot, took away their experiences and choices in life, and set them to an early grave because he thought they would get into their new system. For those who are unfamiliar, the new system is kind of like the Jehovah's Witnesses' heaven. Bear with me here, it's not exactly the same. So they still have heaven, but we don't all just go there when we die. Or hell, for that matter. There is no hell for a Jehovah's Witness. Where some religions it is a constant rollover. As we live and die, it all continues for eternity. The witnesses think it more a finite period in that regard, where the dead are dead at the moment. And at some point in time, Jesus will intervene and we will enter a new system of things. We are in the current system of things, controlled by the devil. At the end of our lives, we just die and wait it out, basically. But for the dead, that period would be instantaneous. The dead are then resurrected into the new system under Jehovah and Jesus' rule as king, in perfection, but on earth, not in heaven. Only a select few of super devout dubs, known as the anointed class or the 144,000, get into heaven to rule over the paradise earth with Jesus. So to a witness, this life, this current world or this system of things is only temporary and is preceding the real deal where we live in perfection. This is the mindset a witness has. So the grandfather possibly sacrificed his chances of getting into the new system so that he could quicken his family's resurrection into perfection of the new system and save them the pain of this current system of things. More proposed supported factors are the acute kidney issues one of the children faced, possible prescription drug abuse by the grandfather, as well as physical or sexual abuse that the children's mother may have faced, possibly within or outside of the Kingdom Hall or church. All of these things, along with alcohol abuse and domestic abuse, are problematic within the Jehovah's Witnesses members, all relating back to their doctrines. But we can't go into everything here. What I wanted to stress in this video is how a belief in a life beyond this, no matter how innocent it may seem, and despite its lack of testability, is a terribly dangerous thing indeed. Actions are guided by beliefs. Beliefs based on anything but hard evidence, in my opinion, and as presented in this case, can be extremely harmful and ultimately fatal. So I hope I didn't just ruin anyone's day with that tragic piece of news, but at the same time it highlights a very important issue when it comes to faith, blind faith. So make sure to leave any of your thoughts in the comments section below. If you agree, disagree, or wish to correct me, feel free. But I probably won't see them in a hurry though, because this isn't actually on my channel. But if you have any other topics that you do want me to cover or dig deeper into, I am on the Facebook and the Twitter machine at NotJah Witness, so just send them there my way and I'll get back to you. If you would like to see any more on the JW's rather religious beliefs, as I do what I can to expose and refute them where I can, just pop over to my channel and say good day. I want to thank Black Sofa for having me on while he's away, and I hope I haven't scared away any of your audience, mate. Make sure to have a fantastic day, y'all. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, I'm NotJah Witness. I'm Black Sofa.